Welcome to Fergie's Tackle Talk. This week I'm going to show you another knot. This knot was taught to me as the duck nose knot. You know, as a quack quack, a duck nose. It's also on the internet. You'll find it sometimes under a no-name knot. There's a few different names for it. So to do this knot is for joining my bimini twist on my braid to my shock leader. Guys, don't get in the habit of tying braid straight to your squid jig or braid straight to your swivel or your hook. It's a bad habit. You need some forgiveness in there. Braid's got zero stretch. And the other thing about braid, if a fish gets that braid back into the reef, you rub reef along a piece of braid, it will start to cut into the fibres and the braid will separate and break and you'll lose your fish. So today I've got my bimini twist. I've got about a 250mm double and I've got some 60-pound mono here. My mono lead is going to be about 5 metres long and I'll explain to you why later. So quite simple. I start with my double and my mono side by side like that. I've got the two together. I get my double and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that around the mono about 10 turns to 12 turns. Depending on the thickness of your braid. This is 30-pound braid, so I'm quite comfortable at about between 10 and 12 wraps. So literally just going over, wrapping it over it, and I got my tag loop here. I grab the tag on my mono and I put it back through the loop on my bimini twist. And I'm through it. I thought I missed it. And I pull it up, holding onto the two as that knot starts to form. Once the knot has formed, let go of the tag end, get a good wrap on the braid, once again lubricate it, and just pull it up nice and tight like that. And I'm sorry if you're a dentist, you won't like this, but I just grab the mono with my teeth just to help pull that knot up very tight. A pair of pliers is probably even a better idea. I can then get my cutters and I can nick that off right back close against that knot. What I've ended up with is a very fine knot that is exceptionally strong. I've used this knot all over the world for multiple species and it works. For casting, if I was going to be casting top water all day long, an FG is probably a better knot because it goes through the guides 100 times a day. But this knot does go through your guides pretty well and it holds up. So I've got my bimini twist about 250mm long. I then got the duck nose knot here, excuse me. Now I'm going to run that as about 5 metres of mono. Why? I want that 5 metres of mono. What I like is when that fish is close to the boat, and that's when most fish are lost, when you've got a good strong snapper, shark, kingy, whatever it is next to the boat, and it's going to be crazy, I've got a lot of stretch in here being the mono, and I want to see 2 or 3 wraps of this mono back onto my spool. So from my spool, right through my rod guides, right down to the fish is mono. So every time that fish does a big lunge and a last minute ditch for its freedom, I've got stretch in there, guys. So bimini twist, which is in my library. If you're not sure how to tie, go in there. Then I've also got my duck nose knot, shock leader, down to my swivel and my rig. Hope that helps everybody. Thanks for watching Fergie's Tackle Talk.